What can ordinary Mississippi citizens do to save millions of lives? Everything. Find out how and why it's important with Ann Reed and her special guest.
We have with us today Monica Smith, and the reason that I invited you to come and talk today, Monica, is because you've shared with me some healing that you have received as a result of actually, I think probably unexpectedly being asked to babysit for a group of ladies. So I just kind of want you to share with us that process, how that got started, and what God has actually done in you as a result.
Okay, well, for you to really understand, I guess I need to say that I've had 14 miscarriages. And ultimately I had a hysterectomy. And I thought, okay, I wonder what God's doing. And so because of that, I really had issues with people who had abortions. Mm-hmm. Even if they say they'd come to Jesus, and I was like, how can you kill your baby? It really, there was a dark spot inside my soul because of it. And then I met you and a few other ladies, and before I even knew, I loved you.
And did you initially know that I was one of these women that you're describing?
No, I had no idea. And because of your realness and just being who you are, I love you because of it. And then I found out that you had had an abortion, and it did set me back a little. I was like, but she loves you, God. She serves you. I don't get it. And then I was invited to come and babysit, and I come to find out that all of these ladies are just like me. We have all sinned. We have all fallen. And
kind of tell the viewers that you were invited to babysit. What was the situation?
Well, I was invited to babysit because there was a mom who needed to go through the abortion recovery.
Yes.
And so she could find healing. And I agreed to it. You know, okay, God's got something in store. And it was, 8 weeks. And through that time, I fell in love with the children. I fell in love with the women. And God really healed me because I don't feel resentment when I hear the word abortion. And if it's somebody that I know, I'm okay with it. Now I know that they can too find healing, and there's a place and a purpose for them, just like there is for me. Sin is sin to God. So, and that's really, it's been very freeing because I was bound, but now I'm free.
What, before you experienced all this coming alongside this, it was a group of women, including myself, that were in a post-abortion Bible study. And you came alongside us, and you became part of our sisterhood, really, because you just came alongside of us and took care of some of the children of the mothers. How has your view, obviously, well, I'm going to ask you, were you against abortion before?
Always.
You've
always
and you're pretty staunchly against it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that will stand and hold the signs.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, are you still against abortion?
I'm always against abortion. Abortion is killing.
So what has taken place in your heart as far as that's concerned? You were against abortion before, and you're against abortion now. So have you, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, it hasn't changed your stance on whether abortion is a sin or not, but it's changed, your heart has changed.
Towards people that have had abortions, but because before I wouldn't want to have anything to do with you because I wanted a baby and I wasn't able to have one, and you could have a baby and you chose not to have it. So there was a wall there. I did not want to associate with people like that. But now it's okay. Now God says it's okay. There's a healing in me, healing in you, and hundreds of other people out there that needs this. People just like me, too, because I'm sure I'm not the only one.
I'm curious if, before you received this healing, and if you were sitting in a church service, how would you have responded if a lady like myself or anyone else would have stood at that podium and told their story of their abortion experience? How would you... If you knew that ahead of time, would you have gone to that service?
Absolutely not. And if someone would have stood up without me, I would have got up and walked out. Because it was a hurtful subject. I mean, I hurt because people chose to have abortions. And I can't have a baby.
Right. I'm curious because there seems to be a fear in our churches of bringing these things to the forefront and talking about this openly. Just from your own personal perspective, in addition to what you've described, what do you think would be perhaps the pastor's reluctance to do that, to bring that out?
Probably because of people like me, and that there needs to be healing done. Because I mean, it wasn't my fault that I couldn't have children, but in my head, well, it was your fault or lady's fault that they chose to kill their baby, you know, and. So there needs to be healings on both sides, but the pastor is where it needs to begin. They need to be more open. You know, I know this is a painful subject, but it needs to be talked about.
Well, I want to talk just a little bit about the personhood amendment here in Mississippi. You are aware of that to some degree. How important do you think it is for the pastors to get involved in that and to get that word out about that amendment here? Maybe what I should do first is, for our viewers who aren't familiar with, I'm just going to read what it actually is. This will be on the ballot in November. It says, Initiative 26 would amend the Mississippi Constitution to define the word person or persons, as those terms are used in Article 3 of the state constitution, to include every human being from the moment of fertilization, cloning, or the functional equivalent thereof. So basically what that does is that protects the child from the moment of fertilization. So, I mean, this is huge. This would, not only in our state, do away with abortion and cloning, but could possibly, very possibly, overturn the Roe versus Wade decision in 1973. So it is just hugely important, and I think that there are so many people in our state, I mean, who they don't know anything about it. So how important is that to get that out in our churches? And you know, we can see just in your story what possibly are some of the reasons why pastors and leaders in our churches are afraid to get that out. Do you have any other insights as to maybe what would be some hindrances or ways that we could present these important truths so that it would offset those fears?
Well, I really don't understand why anyone would have a problem bringing up personhood in a church, because we're trying to end abortion. And if we could be the first state to do that, that would speak a lot for Mississippi, because usually we're the last state in everything.
True, very true.
So if we can do this, when we do this, it will be amazing. I encourage all pastors to take a stand. And I mean, this is not necessarily a political thing, this is a life thing. Amen. And if you care about life, then it's time to take a stand and say, you know, hand out these flyers and call all your congregation. There's signs available. I have a sign in my yard. I think you should do everything that you can to spread the word about this. I personally have.
Well, since you have shared that information, I want to make sure and give the website to be able to do this. It's very simple. It's just yeson26.net. And once you get to that website, you will be able to order flyers that look like this. You can get yard signs. You can get bumper stickers, T-shirts. They just have a bulk of promotional documents and materials for you to be able to make use of, and we encourage you to go to your pastor, go to your church leaders, and encourage them. And if you can share this video with them, whatever you can do to help get that word out.
Personhood Mississippi started out as a citizen initiative, and it continues to be. This weighty responsibility lies flatly in the hands of we the people, the Mississippi voters. Mississippi voters will have the chance to say yes on Amendment 26, November 8, 2011 at the ballot box. Check out www.yeson26.net for more information. If you are in Mississippi and would like to provide education to a church group through a Festival for Life meeting or a series of meetings, contact Joseph Parker, pastor and outreach director at American Family Association, by calling 662-844-8888, extension 381. If you would like to invite one of the women you've seen or heard about on this video to share at a women's meeting or church service, please call Ann Reed at 662-346-3772.